There's this movie, You Are Not Me, and it kicks off with this girl, Aitana, showing up at her parents' house after being gone for years. She's all set to give them this big surprise, right? But then some random lady opens the door. Turns out it's just her mom's friend, Dory. But when her actual parents see her, they don't look happy at all. Like, they look straight up scared. Total opposite of what she expected. Her brother, Saul, is the only one who seems kind of happy to see her because they were always super close. And her mom is like, "Why are you here?" So Aitana is totally confused. She's like, to see you guys? I thought you'd be happy." But her dad just cuts her off and is all, "Just go upstairs and rest." So she goes up to her old room and, get this, it looks like someone's been sleeping in her bed. She gets closer to check it out and bam! Someone jumps out and attacks her. She freaks out and runs downstairs screaming that there's a thief in her room. And then this other girl, Nadia, walks out of the room and Aitana's just staring because Nadia is wearing her clothes and living in her room like she owns the place. So her mom, Dory, just drops this bomb. She's like, "Yeah, we found her after you left. She's our daughter now. And she gives us way more love than you ever did." Ouch, right? Aitana is furious and tells her mom to kick Nadia out. But Dory is like, "Nope, Nadia is staying. You can sleep in the guest room." She's so mad, but her brother calms her down and she goes upstairs with her little son, Gabi. A little later, she goes to get some food for the baby and she walks past her parents' room and overhears them talking. And her dad is just raging. He's telling her mom, "What is she doing here? Tell her to leave. If she wants to stay in town, she can get a hotel." Aitana is completely crushed. Her own parents. So she storms back to Gabi and is like, "We're out of here. We'll get a hotel, then go to our aunt's." But surprise, her aunt doesn't pick up. And every single hotel in town is booked solid. Total disaster. They have nowhere else to go, so they have to go back. So she's exhausted and falls asleep, but then she wakes up in a panic and sees Nadia holding her baby son, Gabi, and it looks like she's about to hurt him. Aitana snatches the baby back and runs downstairs just screaming at her parents to get Nadia out of the house. She's like, "She's dangerous. She was going to hurt my son." But they totally ignore her. And to make it even worse, she sees that her parents bought all these nice Christmas presents for Nadia, and they're even giving her candy. Now Aitana is on a mission. She sneaks into her old room, Nadia's room now, and starts digging for dirt, anything to prove this girl is bad news. And she finds it. She finds Nadia's ID card, and guess what? It has a different name on it. She runs to her parents, all triumphant like, "See? I told you she's an imposter. She lied about who she is." But her mom just loses it. She yells at Aitana to shut up and is like, "You don't know anything about her. She's innocent." Then she spills the beans. Nadia showed up at their house one rainy night just asking for food, and in return, she does everything around the house, takes care of them, even helps her brother Saul. Her mom basically says, "She gives us the love you never did, so she's more important to us now." And then, for the final blow, her mom says, "If you have such a problem with her, then you should just leave, just like you left us before." Man, that's cold. So Aitana is just done. She decides to leave for real, but just as she's walking out, her brother Saul comes running after her. Her brother, Saul, runs out after her and starts laying it on thick. He's like, "You know how much I love you. You just got here. You can't leave already." He just keeps insisting, so fine. Aitana agrees to stay for the Christmas party, but she is still so mad. She's looking out her window and sees all these guests arriving, but they're all these old people she's never seen before. And her aunt and uncle, the people she actually wants to see, are nowhere in sight. She tries to go downstairs to ask what's going on, but get this, her door is locked. So what does she do? She literally jumps off the balcony. Bam! She lands right in the middle of the yard and all the guests just stare at her. Total chaos. Her mom, Dory, runs over and is like, "Stop misbehaving. What is wrong with you?" But now Aitana is like, game on. She decides she's not leaving until she exposes Nadia for who she really is. Then her aunt calls her back and Aitana's like, "Hey, why aren't you guys at the Christmas party?" And her aunt is all, "What party? Your mom told me you guys weren't celebrating Christmas this year." Mind blown. Why would her mom lie about a giant party happening in her own house? Aitana goes back inside and notices everyone is just fawning over this one dude named Nicholas. He tells everyone it's time for drinks, and Dory's friend starts passing them around. After they drink, everyone starts dancing this weird, synchronized dance. Then her dad gets everyone's attention, and he's like, "My dear daughter, come up here and say something." Aitana is so happy. For like 1 second, she thinks her dad finally sees her. But as she starts to stand up, he's like, "I'm talking to Nadia, not you." Crushed. Again.
That's it. Aitana just loses it. She snaps and starts screaming in front of everybody. She's like, "This girl you're calling your daughter is an imposter. I'm their daughter. She's a fake, and she has my parents totally brainwashed." She doesn't stop there. She even starts yelling at the guests and at that Nicholas guy. Her dad gets so angry he just screams at her to go to her room. So she's up there, and later that night, her baby, Gabi, starts crying. She goes downstairs to get milk, and the house is dead silent. The party is just over. Super weird. Anyway, she gets the milk, and as she's going back upstairs, she sees Nadia going through the guests' coat pockets, totally stealing stuff. Busted! Aitana is enraged. She grabs Nadia by the hands and starts dragging her upstairs, shouting, "Now I'm going to show my mom and dad your real face. You're a thief!" But as she's yelling for her parents, Nadia starts begging her. She's like, "Please don't. You don't understand. They'll kill me. My life is in danger. Please listen." Aitana freezes. She lets Nadia go and peeks into her parents' room, and it's filled with all this bizarre ceremonial stuff, like for some kind of creepy ritual. In the middle of this, she hears all the party guests start searching the house, calling for Nadia. She quickly runs back, grabs Nadia, and shoves them both into a cupboard, clapping a hand over Nadia's mouth. And that's when Nadia spills the beans. She whispers, "They're all looking for me so they can kill me. I didn't do anything, but Nicholas ordered it." Suddenly, this is a whole different ballgame. This is a life or death thing now. So Aitana looks at Nadia and promises her, "Don't worry, I'm not going to let anyone hurt you."
Just as she's hiding, she hears her baby son crying. She freaks out and runs out of the cupboard, but he's nowhere. She's checking the whole house, the garden, everything, but Gabi is just gone. And then, bam! Someone attacks her from behind and she's out cold. Next thing she knows, she wakes up and she's tied to a chair. And standing in front of her are all the weird party guests. Then that Nicholas guy comes right up to her, grabs her face, and is like, "Just let this happen. You stay out of it." He tells her they're all members of this crazy devil-worshipping cult, and he's the leader. He says the devil gives them power, and they're going to use that power to cure her brother, Saul. But, and this is the messed up part, it needs a sacrifice. It has to be someone her parents adopted and loved more than their own daughter. And it all clicks. That's why they took Nadia in. That's why they were so obsessed with her. It was all an act to set her up for this ritual. Aitana is just screaming her head off like, "You're monsters. You can't kill a person. I'm not telling you where she is." But then Nicholas gets super dark and says, "Fine, if you don't tell us where Nadia is, we'll just sacrifice your baby son instead. You adopted him too, didn't you? You love him like your own." Total checkmate. She's terrified for her son, so what else can she do? She tells them where Nadia is hiding, and they drag Nadia out. Right in front of Aitana's eyes, they sacrifice her. They cut her throat. It's insane. After that, they do this whole ritual with Nadia's blood, and they literally bathe her brother Saul in it. Aitana just can't handle it, and she faints. When she wakes up, it's morning, and she's in her bed. Everything seems completely normal. She goes downstairs, and all the cult people are gone. Her aunt and uncle are there now, and everyone is just happy and normal like nothing happened. She starts thinking maybe it was all just a horrible nightmare. Her memory is super fuzzy, like someone messed with her mind. Even her mom and dad are acting totally normal and nice to her now. She sees her dad and her uncle cooking together. Everything is so perfect it's creepy. She goes out to the garden to clear her head, and it's pristine. She pretty much convinces herself it was all a dream. But then, she walks back inside, and she sees her brother, Saul, standing on his own 2 feet, walking, and it hits her. It was real. All of it. They really sacrificed Nadia, so when everyone asks what happened to Nadia, Aitana just goes along with it. She tells them Nadia was a thief and ran away after stealing a bunch of stuff. I mean, what could she do? She has no proof, and her brother can walk again because of it, so she just keeps quiet. And that's how it ends. Crazy, right?